Are there any particular stories you've gotten to work on that you feel like that you really left your mark on there? Not just obviously on an artistic level on the images, but from the direction that the story took as well.
Let's see. I think the stories that I have told that I've left a mark, probably the miniseries Tempest, probably Wonder Woman in its way. I mean, it certainly left a mark. There are certainly people who think that is a viable and real vision of that character, so I'm happy for that. My time on The Invisibles certainly left a mark. My time on the X-Men, I'd like to believe that I have some sort of mark. I tend not to look back on my work with any sort of sense of pride, or I don't tend to relive memories with it. Once I've finished it, I feel like the lesson has been learned, and so I don't revisit it often. But I think the books that I just mentioned probably have had some sort of impact.
As iconic as what you mentioned was your time with the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
Towards the end of that run, and how do you feel about how the Amazing Spider-Man finished with the 700th episode issue, I should say?
Oh gosh, my time on Spider-Man was odd again. I'd come on to do a really large miniseries, maxi series, that was sort of derailed by the Mary Jane, Mephisto undoing. So my memories of my time on Spider-Man were being a little shell-shocked because I had spent a year planning this big event story that didn't end up getting told. So all I know is that I'm happy to have had time on that book as well. I fell in love with a character I never liked before. I was never a big Spider-Man fan until I started drawing him, and I figured him out. My editor, Steve Wacker, said, and I don't know what this says about me, that he's like, dude, you are Peter Parker. And I always thought I was like, really? Like, Peter Parker's a mess. And I thought, well, I'm a mess too. And so I just take great pride in being a part of that and getting that book, as far as it got to issue 700. Isn't that crazy? These books last that long.
And it ended the way it did, and now there's a new version floating around.
Right. Multiple new versions, right? So the Doc Ock version, the Minority version. It's a beautiful character in that it lends itself to these sorts of explorations of character, and because it's comics, it can always go back to being the way it was, or it can evolve into something new. And Spider-Man's a perfect character for that kind of evolution.
What are you most looking forward to about the next couple of days of this event?
I'm most looking forward to meeting fans in Australia and talking to them about why they like things and where they discovered their favorite heroes or characters or comics. That stuff thrills me, and to think that we're all connected globally, internationally, by these strange, colorful characters. Some of whom, we were exposed to as children, others as adults. I think there's something really divine about that. Not to get sort of too heavy, but thinking a world that's so full of conflict and political divide and all sorts of, other mess, nothing makes me happier than going to a convention and meeting someone I would never speak to, in another context, and bringing up an issue of, say, X-Men, and them knowing exactly what I'm talking about and having similar memories of reading it, or bringing up a cartoon and knowing exactly where they were and what cereal they were eating and what they were going to do, what time that cartoon came on. We all have these shared rituals. And I love the idea that no matter what country I go to, I always meet people who share the same rituals. And I think there's something really sort of beautiful and unifying about that.
It's a great note to end it on. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy your time in Melbourne.
Oh, thank you so much.